I want to talk about Saturn square Uranus and how this is such a huge and really important aspect. Very fundamental to understand when we're talking about the astrology of 2021 and 2022. So, a square in astrology is first off if two planets are fighting each other. If they are just butting heads, that's what a square is. So we have Saturn in Aquarius. It's really, really important to note the signs that these two are in. So Saturn in Aquarius square Uranus in Taurus. So Uranus in Taurus entered in 2018, and Saturn in Aquarius, it began in 2020. So we have this aspect, and it's basically, to put it simply, the old versus the new. Saturn is all about what is traditional. What are the rules? What is the way that people have been climbing up that mountain over the years and years and years and years, to where it's become super ingrained. It's become written down on a scroll. This is the way that we do things. Saturn is all about rules, regulations. But not only that, there is a blockage with Saturn. There is a restriction. There is a restrictive quality where we need to restrict ourselves, discipline ourselves. It's where we might feel held back a little bit, to where we might need to work super duper hard to achieve the things that we don't want to achieve. And there's a challenge with Saturn as well, because Saturn can give those challenges. It's like the kryptonite to, if you think about, what's his name? Superman. And so Saturn's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign of the water bearer, the sign of, while it is technology and new innovations and revelations and revolutions, Saturn can also hold that back to keeping with, what has been. And, it's a sort of fighting with Saturn in Aquarius, because it's also ruled by Uranus, which is also freedom. It's the planet of revolution. If you think about the Americans fighting against the British, for instance, because it was, they felt that, I can speak as I am one. We feel like I'm holding everybody down. We felt that it was our God-given right to control, to have America as our country, that belonged to us, that we could do. And so there was a fighting for freedom. There was a resistance against the British, super powerful imperial government nation. And so we were fighting against them. And it took a lot of courage, a lot of bravery, a lot of sacrifice. Saturn can also look at sacrifice as well. It can tune into where we kind of put aside certain things in order to achieve a goal. Sacrificing our emotions in order to get this thing done, in order to climb this mountain. So, um, there's that, that very hardworking sort of energy with Saturn, because it is all about the hard work. And may be difficult to sort of find the inner authority and find where you really need to sort of cut off and what really needs to change. And what do you not believe in? What, things don't serve you? Where are you, being a yes person in your life where you don't need to? Where are you being blocked to express your freedom, and where you need to sort of open up and allow yourself to be free, allow yourself to say things, and um, they may be unique, they may be crazy, they may be sort of unconventional, but just allowing. But then Saturn is very earthy, it's very put to the ground sort of thing. And so there is this awareness toward the restriction um, that comes in. So, it's that sort of thing. And then Uranus, the planet of freedom, the planet of revolution, the planet of taking something and suddenly changing it, things not going according to the plans that Saturn has mapped out, things just rapidly just going off the charts and off the map, and something different, something that just is new and unexpected, wild. That's very Uranian. There's conflict, this conflict in energy, and it's in Taurus. And Taurus is a fixed sign, which is all about the present moment and wants to keep everything very stable, wants things not to change, will hold down the fort. I've worked so hard to fund and invest for this home, to create these material things, resistant of change. And Uranus is all about change and freedom and going with that flow and acting on that sort of spontaneous impulse to alter something. So, these are very, very different. These are very, very different indeed. And Taurus looks at values, looks at solid things, material things, money, the desk that I am recording this on, you know, everything in the material realm, the bed that you sleep in, the food that you eat, all those kinds of things. So, there's a change in values, there's a change in how we look at those things, of how we live our lives, what matters to us, where things are becoming more digital as the ages and as the months and years progress. So, looking at agriculture, farming, gardening, cooking food, especially Taurus rules food, and, you know, upgrading to something better, healthier, and more beneficial to all of us, mind and body, in preparation for the new age, in preparation for the shift going on, moving into the new earth, moving into the age of Aquarius, where we're coming together in communities. Aquarius is all about communities, people coming together and adding their piece to the puzzle, adding their contribution to the group, their unique contribution. So more of that happening. And, that's really a wonderful thing how we, but then Saturn, top down structures, Uranus, let's break free of that. So there's a lot of fighting going on, and how Aquarius is accepting the differences, accepting people's different opinions, you know, open minded toward those things, open minded to, yeah, I see this way, and, you might see this way, and how are we going to come together and make a compromise and make an agreement and understand each other and not be separated. So we've had Saturn Pluto square January 2020. Pluto is the dark realm, the hidden realm. Where just skimming the surface isn't going to really serve us. And indeed, Saturn gets serious. What has to happen for us to live better lives, for the long term, especially because those planets are very slow moving. They take a long time to pass through signs. We're coming to the end of Pluto in Capricorn. Of course, COVID and everything that happened during that time, and then the great Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius um, happening on December 21st, 2020, June 14th, 2021, an exact square, December 24th, 2021, an exact square between Uranus and Taurus. It's breaking up, but still around. And there's one more. I think it's like February 17th, I think. So, thank you for tuning in, and please like, share, and subscribe.